welcome to the Today in AZ After Show with Jimmy, Mike, and myself.
Yes.
It is Friday. Happy Friday. We got the crew.
Friday.
Feliz Viernes.
Hey, Kenny. Kenny's camera shy
Yeah,
right now.
he's like,
Come on, Kenny.
It's Friday.
So happy Friday, and it felt like a Friday on our show for
It
sure.
did. We had a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of fun topics. Snow up in the high country,
Yeah,
Jimmy. I
yeah.
mean, there was a lot going on. Will Pitt's out.
That rain woke me up last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Around
was.
10 o'clock, it hit my area in Phoenix.
Yeah, it was.
I kind of wanted it to stop because my garage starts to flood if it gets too much,
Really?
and it kept going on and on and on. And
I didn't hear a thing. So
you're a deep sleeper.
Yeah, you know, in segments, it's weird because I'll wake up all the time all night, but like I can go right back to sleep, and I'm a deep sleeper when I'm sleeping. Then I'll wake up.
Good.
It's really strange. It's from years of working the morning show. It just ruined all my sleep patterns.
Well, I was trying to
Killed me.
go to bed. I went to, so last night the D-backs had their MVP award show,
Oh,
and it was
that's right.
fun. It was over there at Wild Horse Pass Hotel Casino.
Did you host it? Or?
No, Derek
just-
Hall hosted.
You were just there as a guest?
Yeah, so we do the red carpet interviews and the in a
Nice.
video for
Fun.
them, and then I get to hand out the trophies and the awards.
Wow,
Yeah,
so
it's
you're
a lot
right
of
there
fun.
with these
Yeah,
guys.
I'm on the stage, and it's a
Sweet.
lot of
Who
fun.
won the MVP?
Well, so it's different partners
Oh,
that
I
we
see.
deal with.
I see.
Yeah, so it's like people that partner up with the
Gotcha.
D-backs during the
I
season.
see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, so, but anyway, so it was a lot of fun. So I was coming home, and when I was getting ready to go to bed, 10 o'clock, starts raining, and then my little dog is terrified of
Oh,
the
my
rain.
goodness.
So she's freaking out, running around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go to bed.
She did roll in about 5 minutes before the show, but I didn't say that.
No, so excuse me if I had some.
She had a rough morning.
Yeah, it was a rough morning for me on this show.
Well, we are talking about something fun. We're talking about relationships, specifically
Ooh.
things you need to do in a relationship to have a happy marriage.
Okay.
And you know, we've talked to marriage experts like myself, you know, and
Only because
not
you've been
really.
married 3 times?
I have been married 3 times,
Okay.
but you know,
Tres.
this third time I'm getting it right.
Tres
And one of the
esposas.
tricks could actually be the bathroom.
What?
Experts say the bathroom is a space where we attend to the highly intimate aspects of our lives, obviously.
Okay.
And it's a high-risk environment also, Jimmy, that reveals habits of cleanliness, which can be contentious for people. This sounds like the really specific explanation.
Yeah.
So having 2 bathrooms might allow for maintaining higher levels of romance. I know some folks can't afford that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, to
that's
have
got to be a
2.
bigger house, you know. So this is a thing that we're diving into. So Michelle Obama, Michael Caine, the actor, Sarah Michelle Gellar, another actor, all agree that having 2 separate bathrooms equals one long-lived happy marriage. So what do
Okay.
you guys think? I mean, I guess I'm the guy that's been married quite a bit. But Jimmy, you're newly married. You're newly married. What? So how do? how do you
My
guys-
experience, if you want to get a girl in the mood for romance and you want to you want to go in that direction, the best method I have found is to clean the house.
That's
Okay.
To let them come home to a clean kitchen. They love that kind of stuff. So yeah, that really does make sense. Hey, another thing I want you guys to do if you're out there, don't just text what you think's the best. Text what's broken up one of your relationships. What do you
Yeah,
think
that's a
is
good
bad that would like break up? What's the worst thing a girl's done that maybe that you decided to break up, or a guy as well?
So Carla wrote in, wife is always right.
Yeah.
So it's just like saying, happy
That's-
wife, happy life.
Yeah, totally. I like picking.
I once had a
battles.
man told me, he says, when you get married, he says, think about this. You can be right or you can be happy.
That's good advice. But I will say that my wife and I have separate bathrooms.
Yep, we do too.
Yeah, she'll be like, that's your bathroom.
Yeah.
And I will say she has taught me a lot about toilet etiquette. You know, always
Put the seat down.
and always clean
Change
it.
the toilet paper roll.
That. And you know, I'm up in there on the weekends, like scrubbing. And she makes me clean the bathtub and the sink and the counter.
She makes me.
Yeah, my wife.
She makes. She's a clean person.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm not a clean person, but not to that extent. I mean,
Yeah.
she's like, and if I go into her bathroom, you talk about a freak out. Like, get out of my bathroom.
That's why I have 2 bathrooms. That's why we have 2. Because mine, I do what you do. I do that like once every 2 weeks.
Really?
I do a real good go over,
Yeah, no,
and it's spotless. And she doesn't care because
Every
it's my
Sunday.
bathroom.
Yeah.
You know. But you know what? Part of the reason I married her, one of a million reasons, she's never asked me to put the seat down ever. I do it on my
Really?
own.
That was one of the
But
reasons
she's
you
never
married her.
asked.
She's never.
Because she's not a nag. She's cool. She's awesome. She's just so laid back.
You're that
Because she'll put the dang seat
No, he
down
just leaves it
herself.
up all the time.
Oh, you
because
just
they have
leave it
to
up?
have
No,
it.
I put it down, but she's never asked me. And it's
So-
never been
so
a
when you
problem.
leave
That's
it
how
up-
easygoing she is.
When you leave it up, does she give you?
No, that's what I'm saying.
No.
She's never said
No.
anything.
That's
Wow.
why. She's
Yeah.
a winner, man. She's
Yeah,
cool.
those are some solid brownie points there.
You know? But
Okay.
anyway, let's read on.
What do we got?
Vanessa's looking at me
Oh,
like
my-
I'm speaking Chinese
Yeah, I'm
or
like, what? Just because somebody tells you to
Czechoslovakian.
put the toilet seat down doesn't make it a bad thing.
Why? Because you do that all the time?
I mean, if,
Oh
if
my
you leave
gosh.
the toilet seat up, I'm going to tell you to put it down.
Yeah,
Be
that and
courteous
probably 10,000 other things.
to other people.
You're so independent.
Oh my gosh.
This is a
So
good thing.
Miranda West said, accept each other.
Yes,
So
that's always
if you
good.
leave the toilet seat up, like your wife, she accepts you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Juanita said, putting the other person first in your life. Miranda said she's getting married today. Seriously?
Hey,
Are you?
Congratulations.
That's good.
Let's see. Pixie says, if both parties know divorce isn't an option, then you have no choice but to communicate.
I like this one. Be great friends, not just a married couple. I'm best friends with my husband, and I love it that way. It keeps us honest and comfortable to say anything to each other. So that's nice. I would say, I mean, as you guys mentioned, and it's going around this morning show that I've been married 3 times.
Yeah.
I was married first young at 22. I got
Okay.
married, and it lasted like 8 months. So I mean, we were headed in different directions.
That was a quick one.
And she,
You said 22?
I was only
Yeah,
22 years
that is
old.
young.
So, we were sort of headed in different directions. And
And love thought you knew what you wanted.
Emma asked me, how did it end? I said, well, she kind of left. All right. But we were
Par
headed
for
in
the course.
we headed into, my second marriage lasted 12 years. And I think, at the beginning, as the relationship went on, our differences started to show. She loved the game, and I didn't like the game, and I was more outdoors.
Like she liked board games.
No. She
Like
liked
Dungeons and
World
Dragons?
of Warcraft type things.
Okay.
Like leveling up and.
Which is very odd because there's not a lot of women that I know about that like those board games.
And she was really into that, and as was my 15-year-old son loves games.
Okay.
So they go to events together?
Yeah, like I'm very accepting of that, but that's not my thing, you
Right.
know. So, but she used to like it, and we were just sort of different people,
I find you have to have 2 things in common that you like to do. So you
Yeah.
like to hike, but I also heard, because I just got married, from very successful couples, you also need 2 other things that you do separate on your own.
Okay.
Like maybe we hike together, but then you like to do roses, you're in the Rose Club, and I'm in the gaming club, and we do that separate as well. But there's got to be
Right.
things you do
Okay.
together as well.
Because I think, that whole notion that opposites attract, I don't believe it. Because like my wife and I have been married 7 years now, and we like the same things and the same movies, and we like the same activities and things like that. So I mean, I feel like we're on the same page,
Yeah.
and you sort of have the same personality and things like that.
Yeah.
But I know that, there's that whole school of thought, like opposites attract, and, but we like spending time together. Like some couples, like I know, I'm going golfing, and I'm doing this, and she's going here, and I'm like, y'all never even spend any time together.
Yeah, that's hard, especially if you're working a lot.
And then they say, yeah, that's the reason why we stay together.
I think there's a lot of genetics involved.
Yeah.
Because I've known people that it's just like in their genetic code to get married and stay married. It's just
Yeah.
like what our viewer said. They wake up every morning and they just decide we're going to be married and that's it. And years go by, 20, 30,
Yeah,
40,
stick around,
50.
yeah.
And then there's the people that I've had friends. I'm like, dude, why are you getting married? You should be single. There's nothing wrong with wanting to date 1 million people. It's called being single. Just don't get married. And some people, I don't know why,
I got that Marion gene.
Yeah,
Well,
you
know,
like
also
it.
in your case too, and what I found, obviously I'm not married, is that throughout the years you change so much. Like you're a
Yeah.
different person from when you're 20 to you're 30, 35, even getting closer to 40.
No question. Yeah, because
you change a lot.
Because I was talking about that with them, kind of sort of the evolution. I was in another career, and then I moved into TV, and some people aren't comfortable with the TV thing because she didn't like it as so my current wife, she doesn't mind. My ex-wife was more private, and she didn't like, hey, I saw you on TV,
Yeah.
and she didn't like crowds. And,
I've excluded a lot of people
know.
because they were jealous because I was on TV. They couldn't handle it.
yeah,
It really
You do have a
bothered
different
me.
business.
yeah, and for her,
relationships.
If somebody comes up to me, just, hey, how are you? It's part of my job. You can't
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, you think you're all that. Because I'm like, no, I don't, So
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
Because
deal
I
with
mean, we're in the public relations business, kind of. People see us and thing, and she didn't. And not that she was jealous, but it was more she just didn't. And I would host these events, and I'd bring her, and she didn't like crowds,
Yeah.
and
I wonder if the
That's
guy
different.
behind you's
Yeah.
married.
I know.
That's doing the
The windows, they're cleaning the windows.
Yeah.
Hey!
He's busy.
Okay,
Yeah,
we've had tons of
He has
comments,
no
guys,
idea.
so I'm going to share some of these.
Yeah,
and
please,
a lot
hit
of
'em.
these have one thing in common that I've been reading, so this is great. Linda says, been married for 45 years, takes a lot of work, yet to be open and want to work on your marriage.
Yeah.
It's too easy just to leave and get a divorce. Okay, that's true. Anita says, I'm married 48 years and we have been through good times and bad times, but we communicate and we never do anything that we don't agree on. We are always there for each other.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think that's important too. Let your spouse know what page you're on, or if you're going to make a decision, have her involved in it or him involved in it. Because when you start doing things on your own, that's when it's like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I've had
What's
multiple
going on?
people say honesty. David said honesty. Someone else put it down here too. Hold on.
That's a tough one.
Honestly,
To be honest,
Yeah, I had a hard time with that for years because I think I was always worried, like, because I have a ton of girlfriends that are friends.
Yeah.
And and you date a girl, and all of a sudden, where were you? Well, I was with so and so, and well, what were you doing? Oh, good.
I could see that.
So why?
Yeah, because you don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah, you know what? I
But
went out for
then-
coffee with a friend of
Yeah.
mine who's a female. I don't do that now. That's all done. And maybe it's because I'm with the right person and it was easy to give that all up. But before,
Yeah.
I had a hard time with honesty. I really did.
Well, yeah, and I can see it. It's sort of like the white lie, like, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah.
And, you
And
don't wanna-
we have a rule now that we're both honest, but we can't, like, don't flip out if the person's being honest. If I'm
Right.
telling you I went to coffee with Vanessa or had a beer,
Some people can't handle
some
the
people,
truth.
oh,
It's
what'd
like
you do that
movie.
for? She's wonderful, but that's our deal.
Yeah.
1,000% honesty, but you don't throw people on the coals if there's
Oh,
nothing
no
going on.
question,
If they're
yeah.
being honest,
that's true. It's a
Very-
good
Some people have a hard
Very
time
true.
with that, and it forces people like me to, like, not be honest.
Okay, so Michelle Phillips says, hold each other up. When things are hard and one person can't do it anymore, the other person has to hold it together. It goes both ways. It's teamwork.
Oh, no question, teamwork, and that's what my current wife says. Just make sure you let me know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key.
Back to the teamwork. I see some of the best couples I know, very close right now in my life. They work, physical work. They wake up and they work on the house together.
Yeah.
They get it spick and span, and their goal is they're going to go out to dinner, or they're going to go to lunch, or they're going to meet some friends after. But before that, we're going to work.
Right.
And then also some people, the guy's successful, they both work hard. They take their money. One goes towards the house, the other one goes towards vacations. They're working. And I think if there's too much, I know some other couples of mine where someone's not working,
Yeah.
and they're just spending, and the whole balance starts going off. So you have to contribute.
And that other person can't annoy you. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's a big factor. Like, because everybody.
We've had some of these people where, like, you have to legitimately want to be with that person. Like that's how a good marriage works.
Like, yeah, and the thing is, like, I annoy my wife. I know, like, there's things about, and she's like, that you are so annoying. Like, in that, but she's accepting at the same time. But, haven't we had those relationships? You're like, that really annoys me, but I don't, there's something that has to keep you there and like that person, though, also. So, I think you have to be accepting of that person's idiosyncrasies or whatever thing they do at home that might annoy you, or they leave a towel on the floor, and that doesn't drive you that crazy enough to keep them.
Does that mean you really, really want to be with them then if that doesn't drive you crazy? Because
Yeah,
I've been in
yeah,
a
I
relationship
think
before. I'm
so.
like, why? Why do you do this? Or why do you do that? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, but I think you can overlook some of those things. If there's stuff that my wife does that annoys me too, but
Yeah.
I accept them. But I think at the end of that, you like each other enough to overlook some of those things.
I've also heard that if you're, we'll call it talents. If you're a 5-talent girl, then you should be with a 5-talent guy. So if you're a doctor or you're a lawyer, you should be with another guy or girl that's kind of the same way. Because if you don't have a lot in common. I've dated certain people that have maybe a different educational level on both sides. I've dated, really unbelievably people that are really smart, and I don't have a lot in common with them, and vice versa. I've also
Well, we
dated
do that.
people that don't have as much education as me, and we don't have a lot in common
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
So you have to, I think, and I tell Vanessa one thing, my advice to her is don't settle. Her and I come from the same, I think some people can settle, but her and I are the same type of, we don't settle. I'd rather I waited forever, 50 years before I got married because I'm not going to settle.
But
I
look, now
can't.
you're amazingly happy. Like, you guys
Mm-hmm.
genuinely, you can tell when you see each other that you guys love each other, you guys get along, like that you really want to do
Everything
this together.
clicked. It's because, once again, because I didn't settle. And honestly, if I hadn't met her, I was still willing to just be single the rest of my life.
We thought you were going to be a bachelor forever.
Everybody did. They had
Yeah.
bets going. A lot of people lost money in this building. Really did.
I think people are going to start making bets on me next.
No, you know, I like
We'll
it.
see.
Vanessa, you just don't settle. That's why I respect her for that. She goes
Thank
out.
you, Jimmy.
She's
Thank you.
a 10 talent girl. She needs a 10 talent guy.
So wait, some
Look at
other
you.
people, I know he's so nice, right? He sits next to me and we talk about all this stuff and he peps me up and gives me advice.
That's awesome.
So somebody said, Steven said to have separate TVs. Is that yours? Mine? Whose is this?
Oh, let me see.
Okay, so yeah, Steven says to have separate TVs. Somebody else said to have separate bank accounts.
No, that doesn't. No, that's shady.
It can work.
You think so?
I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I know people that keep it. I mean, the mortgage separate. I know a couple here in this business.
My wife has access to my Facebook page. She can look at it.
Oh, that's fine.
anytime.
No, that's okay. Facebook pages, but
Like she
some
has
people.
your code? Your
Yeah, she looks at it all
What do you
the
think
time.
about finances? Would you ever
I mean,
keep
she doesn't
finances
answer
split?
people, but you know, I give her access to all
Would you
my
ever keep
social media.
finances split?
I don't know. I've heard, both sides. Like I have a few friends that they were like, yeah, we have our own separate bank
Mm-hmm.
accounts, and then they just, when they're going out to eat, one person will pay one time, the other person will pay next
I
time.
know people that split the mortgage.
Yeah.
Like they
And
have
that
separate
too.
mortgage accounts.
So remember last time we were talking about relationships and I was asking, like, what do people do? So like when you get into a relationship or when you get married, I think when you get married, obviously, right, most people I think share the bills.
You join the bank accounts.
But what happens when you guys are still dating? Like how does
I
that
would
work?
say if you're dating, no. I mean,
But you've lived together, like you live
Oh
together.
no.
I still think if you're dating and it's not a marriage, because a lot of the assets, once you're married, theoretically some of
Yeah.
those assets are joint anyway.
So
But
when you live with someone, okay, so let's say you lived with your current wife before you guys got married. How did you do the bills?
it was separate.
What about the mortgage? Who paid the mortgage?
So we just
In half?
we'd
Okay.
split it in half, and then we shared the bills.
I paid the mortgage
Yeah.
when she was living with me because it's my mortgage.
Oh yeah, well yeah. If it's your,
I'm not going to make her pay, but I have known some people that have had you're going to pay half the mortgage, and they do it. So
Yeah.
I do think a lot of people are going to go crazy if you're listening out there. I think a lot of a relationship. First, there's the love, there's that whole attraction, but then there's a little bit of it that's a business. It's a business thing. You're with somebody because you feel they're going to be somewhat successful. Whether it's a guy or a girl, I'm not talking gold diggers. You don't want to be with a guy that doesn't have a job,
Right.
Or
Yeah.
or maybe
that you're supporting the other person.
or maybe you want a certain type, a level of job that this guy or girl wants as well, and you're both there to build a better life. You want a better house, you want better clothes, you want to take vacations. Doesn't have to be Mercedes, but it's part of it's a business.
Wait, I have a question on this one. So Cricket said all couples settle, one has to.
One house.
You guys are married, so I'll let you answer that. But I have heard that they're like there is always one
settle?
person that's settling in the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I would say my wife probably settled on me.
Yeah, Kim settled. Kim settled big time with me. Huge. I won the
I
lottery.
mean, she had many opportunities to
Yeah.
be with other people, and I will fully admit that. I mean, I was.
I think you're both a very attractive couple.
I was
I don't
definitely
think
chasing
so.
her though. I mean,
Yeah, well, you're very successful.
Oh well, thank you.
Aw,
So-
But you could argue that. Then that's to argue that somebody always loves each other more. But
I had to chase my wife, for sure.
that's good though. That's old-fashioned
Well, yeah,
chivalry.
it was.
You know? You had to
Telling
put the
you.
handkerchief out. She put the handkerchief, and you had to open the doors and get the flowers. And
we got together first, and then I was coming out of a relationship. We broke up for a minute, and then it was like a movie. There was one night I was out with my friends, and she called me, and she was right up the street downtown, and I ran to her.
Yeah, I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and we've been together ever since that day. So
yes,
it was kind of nice.
I'm very old-fashioned that way. I think guys have got to be the ones. Those are the ones that are chasing.
Well,
the girls.
this is what I tell my friends too. That
Yeah.
because I have a handful of friends and we're all single. And I'm like, if the guy really wants you, he will reach out to you.
Yes.
He will
Yeah.
text message you. He will plan a date. So if you're the one constantly doing that, then he's not that into you. You know?
Right.
Because if you
Absolutely.
really want it, you will go after that.
Yeah, and it does not matter. I don't care what business. I don't care if you're the president of General Motors. You will make time for her. Because I hear a lot of girlfriends that I've had that, well, he's just really busy. No, honey, he's not into you.
No,
He's not into you.
I totally agree with that because I'm embarrassed. I chased my wife. Someone, you know.
No, there's nothing
she
wrong with
played
that.
hard to get a little bit, you know. So
I've
but
been.
it was fun. I think that makes it more worth it
Yeah.
than somebody that's throwing themselves at
They're
you
just,
or
like,
something like
ready.
yeah. And you're
Nope.
like, this is no challenge.
I know what it takes. I think all of us in my younger days, I might have been a bit of a player, and a lot of my friends
Jimmy?
are players. So
What?
if you want to know what a player's thinking, ask a player. And I'll tell these girls, you're getting played, but unfortunately, no, he's just busy.
No.
Well, he's just getting up. Well, you know, he can't do
This
that.
could be a new segment, Ask a Player. Or,
I'll tell you, man. You want to know?
Wait,
what
guys,
players-
before we get too crazy, I do want to share a few other comments, and some of them I really love. Okay, so actually, I love them all. They're all great feedback here. But Judy says, hold hands wherever you go. We have been married for 61 years and always hold hands. Hubby says he holds my hand so I can't hit him.
PDA,
it's
baby.
cute.
Public display of affection. I think
Cindy
that's-
says, always make time to spend together as a couple away from work and the kids. Okay.
That's nice.
Joseph says, cherish her. Open car doors, any doors. Kiss her in the morning. Make time for her.
And I think
we got a lot of
that's the
romantic
key.
people.
I know.
I like it. I
That's
thought
the
there'd be
key.
more bitter people coming up.
You know,
angry,
and
but
text,
everyone's great.
text your lady, you know, when she's at work, even if she may not see
Oh,
her.
I text. We text all the time.
Because I think another key thing that I've learned is over the years is let them know that you're thinking about them a
Yeah.
little bit. You know, not even, it's not a big deal. Shoot a text, hey, love you, you know.
Boom.
Thinking about you.
Emoji. Something like that.
Yeah, because if you're always just doing your own thing, it's kind of like, I haven't heard from you in 5 hours. What have you been doing? Well,
Yeah.
I've been doing my own thing.
Yep.
Jimmy, I make fun of him, and I totally think it's the sweetest thing. But because he talks to his phone to do his text messaging, so he's like, "Hi, honey, I miss you already."
Aw, look at you.
You know, and I'm like,
That's
"Bleh,
just
bleh."
showing.
Yep. She does it every morning.
You're just showing out right there.
No, but it's so cute, and
love
I think things like that, women definitely love that.
No, for sure.
And in this day and age, girls, another thing, if guys start dropping off on the texts, they're also not
Well, that's the thing,
Yeah.
you know, nowadays it's kind of different dating,
Oh,
I would
gosh.
imagine, because, you know, you're in that text phase.
couldn't
I had like
imagine.
when I got divorced in like, God, what was it, 2008 or 2000, it was sort of like the evolution of texting.
Just
So
starting.
yeah, it was just sort of starting, and I was single for a few years. And it's different dating now because you're texting and you're communicating with this person and you have this vision of, oh, they're neat people, you know, then you meet them and like, what would happen to that text conversation? It was really, really great.
It's
And-
bizarre.
Yeah, it's
no,
I never saw
would not want to be young.
and I don't know if
No,
you've,
it's crazy
I don't
now.
know if you've ever dealt with. I never got into what's this new app that you
The
swipe,
dating apps?
the swipe
Bumbles,
one.
Tinder.
Bumble,
Yeah, it's-
Tinder, Hinge,
Yeah.
The League. Like, there's tons of them now.
It's nuts now. I mean, I feel like there's a plethora of people out there, but I think can it be overwhelming?
It is overwhelming. So we've talked about this before too, and it's just that I think that people have too many options.
Right. And
So when you're on
picking
these apps,
somebody.
and if you're on multiple apps, let's
Right.
say you're on Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder, and Plenty of Fish, there's tons of them, right? So
Yeah.
you're constantly, how can you invest time in trying to get to know someone
Right.
if you're constantly talking to multiple people on these apps
Yeah.
and meeting up
At
with
the
them
same
and-
time.
Yeah, and it's just
Right.
like, I think people just don't invest time anymore.
I went to my buddy's house. He was talking to like 10 girls at the same time.
Yeah.
They didn't know it. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, check out this girl.
And you
Hey, check
wonder,
out
like,
and he's just talking.
And you wonder psychologically, you know how they used to say you get a like and it gives you that endorphin?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if in some way there's part of that where you're, hey, that person
Absolutely.
likes me. Hey, there's another one that likes
Yeah.
me. That person likes me. So, you know, it's almost like you're not really after the relationship.
how do you give
you're
that
after
up?
That like,
Yeah,
in
that
a way.
attention, right?
Yeah,
to see
so
if
I
you
don't
can
know.
get them to like you.
Vanessa and I have known a lot of guys that, you know, they get the girl and they still stay on the Bumble
Yeah,
site.
they still are on.
You need to get off
Yeah.
those sites.
Now that is shady.
Yeah.
That is very shady. Yeah, so it is
Really
hard
shady.
to date, but I have a few more of these that we can share. And
Hit 'em
I
all.
think basically the
Any
number one
negative?
thing.
Any negativity?
No, honestly, everything's been really
No,
positive.
everyone's
Yeah.
positive. Wow.
The biggest thing that I've seen is communication. Communication
that's
is
it. I think
like
that's the
huge
key.
on our comments here. Kenny says all you need to do is dream together and trust. Big date nights have been a lot of comments, like make sure you guys spend time
Yeah,
for each other,
that's key.
trust and respect. This was really nice, and I've actually read this book. So Know Your Spouse's Love Language. Have you guys heard of the love languages? I think there's
You know,
five
I
of
need,
them, right?
Yeah, I need to get schooled up on that a little bit. Not, you know.
And it's always, and it's true. Like people will ask you, so what's your love language? Do you like, like positive feedback, affirmations? Do you like little gifts? Do you like to help others? Do you like it? There's some people where they like, let's say you help your wife throw out the trash without her asking, or she needs gas in the car and you go fill up the car without her asking.
yeah.
So like that's one of the levels.
Do you like it when I wear my lederhosen? You know? There's another name for that. There's another.
If you guys haven't
Are you wearing
read
that in the
about on
bedroom,
that.
or
There's another name for that book. It's called Common Sense.
Where are you wearing that lederhosen, my friend?
Germany.
Oh my God.
German.
On that note, I think it's time to wrap it up because these two are, we're going to go wild here on this Friday.
we
but
are.
we appreciate all your comments. I mean, this is great advice, great feedback.
Thank
I
you.
hope everybody has a
I've learned
wonderful
some stuff.
weekend. I know. I'm taking it all in. I'm taking
Zen.
notes.
Have a good one, everybody.
Have a good one. We'll be back on Monday.